What's up guys, it's your boy Walker on the Line, back with another video, and today this is going to be a very exciting video for me. I have sold the small resin printer and I'm going to sell my old filament printer, the Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro, because I've upgraded to a better filament printer and I just no longer used my small Elegoo Mars 2. Now that I have my big printer for the resin and I'm no longer using the small one, and now I have the upgraded printer, which I'm very excited about. I've had it for a few days and I've already gotten some really great prints. I just got to do some more tuning, but overall the quality is absolutely amazing. Very happy. And without further ado, get into the video, show you the printer, and we're going to talk details. And this is the Bambu Lab P1S with the Bambu Lab AMS unit, and I am ecstatic over this. Currently, we are printing with ASA. I had a customer who is requesting for paintball parts. It is a magwell for the paintball gun and a stock for the paintball gun. So he wanted ASA because paintball guns and the sport itself is very physical and very active, so he wanted the strength of ASA. I needed a printer that could print ASA. I did a lot of thinking and I did a lot of research, and I eventually stumbled onto this printer. It is definitely one of the more affordable enclosed high-end units. It is still very expensive, running at about $900. Luckily, I used a Best Buy credit card to be able to purchase this thing so I can make payments on it, and hopefully I could pay it off before it's supposed to be paid off because I'm making product with it. Very, very happy and excited with this purchase. It is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to show you guys the prints that I have made for this customer. I had a 3D Benchy somewhere. I took it to work so I could show my buddy. Don't know where it is anymore. It could be in my work bag. I have zero idea. The pro side and the big reason I got the P1S is because I really wanted to do time lapses for you guys. This machine has a camera in it. The live video feed is not great, and that does suck because being able to look at your print live, especially when I'm at work and checking on it, with it being so laggy, it does make it very difficult to be able to see if anything is wrong. But so far, no problems. Very happy that I haven't had any problems, but I'm sure down the road when I start testing and venturing out and doing a lot of risky prints, I will run into those issues. It's one of those things where I'll have to run into it. But they do sell third-party cameras. I'll pop that up right here so you guys can see it, and you can set that up and you can view it from your phone. It's just one of those things where it's like you would prefer to have the camera in the unit work just as good, but for 30 extra bucks to get a live viewing camera, it's not that bad. I specifically wanted the camera in the unit for the time lapse, which is, it does great. And I will show you guys the 3D Benchy that I printed out right now. Hope you guys enjoy that time lapse. I'm very happy that I have that option now and I don't have to buy an extra webcam, an extra camera. As far as the only thing I need to purchase now camera-wise is really just an extra camera to be able to get a live feed of it and make sure everything's good. But so far, I'm not in the necessary need of it right now. The first print I did for him was the magwell. It comes with parts that go together. This is what it's supposed to look like, but the main piece is this. This is the magwell for the paintball, and I'm really hoping you guys are getting a good look at that. And I know there's probably a lot of glare coming off, but I had terrible lighting, so I bought a GoPro light that goes onto the mount. It focuses the light and it is better. I'm gonna have to look at other options, but as far as right now, this is working great and you guys get better quality and you can actually see what's going on. But if there's a little glare, I do apologize. But as you can see, I mean, there's and I pulled this off of the printer, so it's a little hard to see just because of the way the light is being under the camera and all, but there's no stringing. The print quality is amazing. I mean, there's a couple of things that could be improved, but overall, For a first product print, I am very happy. I think the customer is going to be very happy when they receive it. They're happy with what they see in the pictures. But I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And now on to the next print. This one is the buttstock for the gun. This will be a little bit easier to show you guys. This piece comes off, and then it puts up right here. No stringing, no nothing. I mean, I'm absolutely impressed. Absolutely impressed with the quality of this print. I'm very happy. Now, there was warping done right here. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this. The warping isn't terrible, and I believe it's gonna be completely fine for the customer. I'm gonna like sand it down a little bit, make sure everything looks great, but as far as the print goes, it looks absolutely amazing. And I've already printed two of these, and he just needs 2 more stocks, and then his order will be complete, and I will get those shipped to him. And now I will show you guys the time lapse for the print, for the mag weld and the stock, and we'll show that right now. So overall, what do I think about the Bambu Lab P1S? And this is not a sponsor, purchased it with a Best Buy credit card, also not a sponsor. This is your average Joe trying to make a little side money, and I'm just buying printers and making product. I don't know if I would take them in the future or not. It really just depends. I mean, you know, it's also one of those things. I won't say that I wouldn't, because I'm trying to make money doing this, and there's a reason I'm uploading these videos. But I will tell you, I will not take a sponsorship deal if I can't say my honest opinions about things. Even though this isn't even a sponsorship, I have nothing negative as of right now to say about the Bambu Lab P1S. The P1S is absolutely amazing. The biggest downside, in my opinion, is that camera. Just the pure fact that I can't get a clean live view. It's very laggy. I will show you a video right now while I'm talking when you check it out in a live view. And it really is disappointing to me that, you know, they have this amazing printer, but the camera's laggy on a live view. And I get it, and I looked it up because I was looking at maybe replacing the camera and putting a better one in there, but it's something that you can't do because the internal board for the printer cannot support it. I guess that might be one of the reasons that this is a $900 printer. Now let's be completely honest about this, and I'm gonna put this out there and, you know, take it how you may. The A1, the P1s, and the X1s, in my own opinion, from the research I've done, are essentially the same printer. And the only difference I would have to assume is the boards. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand. Some are enclosed units, some are open units, and I understand that there's different things in the boards and the speeds can be different, and I'm not saying that they are identical one-to-one. All of their printers are 256 by 256 by 256, unless I'm misremembering. If I'm not wrong, all Bambu Labs are that print size. And I understand the nozzles are different, all this other parts are different. So I understand some price jumps and some things are higher quality, but how in the world can a live camera not work on it? I don't think it's that difficult to get a camera to work properly, you know? I don't see a difference in the X1C. The X1C is $1,200 without the AMS unit. With the AMS unit, $1,500. The P1S without the AMS unit is $650. The P1S with it is about $900. I just don't understand, because in my own personal opinion, if I was going to upgrade and get the X1C, the only reason I would upgrade and get the X1C is for the live view camera. And I do understand the X1C is a better printer, and maybe I'm only saying this because I have not used it, but I do not see enough pros to say, yes, I will spend the extra 600 bucks. I don't see that whatsoever. The only reason is the camera. And why do that when you can just buy a $30 camera and you can have a live view that's perfect and potentially even better? That's what I've heard, because the main gripe everyone has about the P1S is the camera. Now, to get aside from that, setup was very easy. I looked up a lot of videos before getting this printer to me. Practically when I got it, I didn't even have to look at a video. I remembered, because it was so simple and so easy to do everything. Everything's marked very clearly. You know, just, you know, having a little bit of common sense, you'll understand what to unscrew and where to put everything. And, you know, just on the caution side, when it came to hooking everything up, I wanted to check the video out and make sure I was hooking everything up right, because I didn't want to, you know, mess that part up. I mean, overall, this printer is absolutely amazing. It was super easy to set up, and I started printing like that. The only order I had for a filament printer, because he wanted the ASA, I threw in the ASA, I did the 3D benchy test, and after the 3D benchy test, I was like, this thing looks amazing. I just can't really see anything that I would need to change, at least off rip. So I just threw in his products and I started printing. Other than the stock where it warped a little bit, I've had to make no changes. And the threads, oh my God. I mentioned this in my very first video on the channel whenever I started this 3D printing. I told you guys I hate threads and I don't want to go down that alley again. His print has threads, these little holes, and I was super worried because I was like, I'm gonna go through a bunch of filament and I'm gonna probably waste a ton of money trying to figure this thing out. And these threads came out beautifully. From what I can tell, I see no issue whatsoever, and that makes me happy. You get what you pay for. So I don't want to be called a hypocrite, because I did just go on a little bit of a rant talking about the price difference between the X1C and the P1S. I am not saying the X1C is the exact same, and I'm not saying the X1C is 10 times better than the P1S. I have no personal experience with it, so just take that as you will. That's an opinion from a consumer standing back and looking. But if you were wanting to get into 3D printing and you want to make good products, the P1S is 100% gonna do what you need to do. The only restriction it has that is gonna run into your way is the size. That's about it. I had a customer hit me up. He wanted a Transformer cosplay thing, and you know, you have to print those in multiple pieces. He had the files ready. I loaded up some of his files, and one of the pieces was just too big and I could not orientate it in the right way to get it to print out right. So I had to tell him I couldn't do his print, and I'm really sorry, but my printer just cannot print that size. And that's the only other downside I've ran into, is the size. But most printers that you're gonna buy, they're gonna be around this size. I mean, it's very hard to find a printer that is over this size. I mean, unless you're willing to spend a lot more money. I have not yet found a printer that prints wider and longer. I've had printers that are pretty cheap that print taller, but I've never had them print wider or longer. It is possible, but you're gonna spend more money for a bigger size. But for the price of the P1S with the AMS unit is absolutely amazing. I did want to do an unboxing video for this, but sadly I got home from work and I wanted to get this thing up and running immediately, so I didn't record that process. But I'm just gonna run through a little bit of this stuff with you guys, and I'm gonna go into a little bit of details so you guys can kind of understand what I'm messing around with and what this unit is. And so here we are at the AMS unit. And as you can see, the AMS unit has these little automatic feeders for 4 spools. And so what this means is that you can have 4 spools of filament in here. And if you have them at different colors and you want to print it at different colors, it can swap them through the printer and print stuff at different colors. And that is what I plan on doing in the future when I fully understand what I'm doing and I get to test around with it a bit. But right now I only have 2 spools of ASA because that's all I have, and that's what he ordered. So as you can see, those right there, those little gray knobs. So whenever you go and grab your spool, you will push that back, insert it, and then once it reaches that certain point of contact, the unit will grab it and start feeding it through. And then I think it does like a little homing process and then pulls it back and forth and everything. But then, when you go to the back of the unit, this is where it controls the filament being fed in. I'm not even gonna try and lie to you and act like I understand what that thing is doing. I just know that it controls the filament being fed into the printer. That's all I know that it does. So this is the display unit, and this is where you can go around and mess with everything, pick files from your SD card, preheat your bed, your nozzle. All right, so we skipped over that section because that has my Wi-Fi on it. But you have your little SD card here with all of your files. One of the biggest pros about this printer that I absolutely love is where the SD card is located. Very small detail, but I absolutely love it. The SD card is right here. It is so easy to just pop in and pop out and grab it and put it into your computer, load files, move files, everything. Just a simple detail like that makes everything easier. All of the cheap printers I've ever owned, they've always been in the most inconvenient spot, underneath the printer, on the back of the printer, on the side of the printer. They've made it very difficult, and that's one of the reasons I love resin printers. They just use USBs. I don't understand why that is not the norm for filament printers, but for some reason, they decide to use SD cards. And like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about, so there might be a reason they use micro SD cards and not USBs. Completely out of my league, but it's very inconvenient on those cheap printers where they put them in hard to reach locations. So right now I'm gonna swap over and record on my desktop, and I'm gonna show you guys the Bambu slicer and just give you a little bit of broad knowledge on it, and you know, explain just a little bit that I've learned about it. And I'm gonna show you the live feed camera and just give you some more details about the slicer that I've learned. All right, so now we're in Bambu Lab Studios, where we're gonna slice all of our projects for Bambu Lab printers. And I'm gonna show you guys a little bit about this. I'm gonna prepare, and then this is where your build plate is, and this is where you will slice your products and everything. So what threw me for a loop is that there is different places for everything. I'm so used to Cura, and I'm so used to everything being on the one thing, and it's very confusing whenever you load this up and check everything out. But so right up here you have your Bambu Lab, and you pick your nozzle, and you'll tell it, you know, what filament you're using. It can load up presets, and then same thing here, your layer height, and then you know, you can pick your preset for your layer height and all that. So this is where it gets confusing. If you want to adjust retraction and stuff like that, that is going to be in here. You know, go to your extruder, and you'll have a little bit of stuff to adjust here. And so that threw me for a loop because I couldn't find it whatsoever, and it was over here in this little edit box for the extruder, and this is where you'll adjust retraction and all that stuff. And then you'll go over here, and you got your filament, your generic ASA. Go in here, and this is where you'll adjust your nozzle temps and your bed temps and that stuff. Really threw me for a loop, because whenever I first started this, I was like, okay, everything should be down here. It makes sense. It'd be down here. No, it's kind of all over the place. My only little gripe about this is that it's organized in such a manner that it feels so hard to find stuff, you know? Like, it is so neat and so organized, and everything makes so much sense that it almost doesn't make no sense. And I believe that that's only because I'm so used to Cura. And now that I've been using it, now it's like, oh, okay, I know where to go. But, you know, when I first started it, I'm like, I have no idea. Like, where is this? Where I always adjusted this. Where is it? So, you know, eventually found it, and yeah, it's one of those things. It's a learning curve, but it took me a while to figure it out, and finally figured it out. You have stuff down here. You got your quality for like your layer heights, and then your line widths, and then your seams. Then you go over here to your strength, and then you got like, this is where you'll adjust your infill density, you know, infill pattern. You go to your speed. And so this stuff like really confused me, because it's like got a lot of settings, and so I still truly do not understand. The only things I adjust are my initial and my outer and inner. I do not adjust anything else because I have no clue what I'm touching. So, but there's a lot of different things that you can adjust the speed for, and I refuse to touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. It's just, you know, if I ever run into a problem where I do need it, I will learn about it and figure it out. Then you got your supports. I've been using tree supports with organic. You got your densities, and then layer expansion, then your top Z and bottom Z. And then you go over to others, and this is where you'll have like your skirts and brims and everything. Really not 100% aware of what everything else in here does. Like I said, this is still brand new to me. I've only been working on this guy's products, and that's the only thing I've been doing. So I haven't really got to test anything truly. But once I get there and I learn, I will definitely let you guys know and give you tips and tricks of everything that I've been doing. All right, so now we're gonna jump right in, and I'm gonna start, getting this ready to slice. This is currently what's printing, except I have 2 of each. That way I could speed up the time and, get it done a little bit quicker. So I use tree supports, so stuff like this, I do not need it here. This is a complete flat edge, so I'm just gonna rotate this. Boom, flat. And so, as you can see, threads. These have threads in here. And if I print this upside right and I have supports, it will go inside of this. I do not want that. I do not want threads to have supports on them. I want to try to print the threads straight up, so that way it's not at an angle or anything and it can have any potential mess up. But I also do not want to print them straight on the plate. And so this is probably where I'm having that issue with warping, is because with this particular thing, the way I have to orientate it so I can print these straight up is like this. And so it's warping right here. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's just because it's printed at this angle, but the warp is really not even that bad that it's almost negligent to really justify trying to figure something else out, since these threads have been coming out perfect. Go back in here, I could adjust anything I want. And if you need to know and you want to see my support settings, the only thing I'm pretty sure I've ever changed is the top Z and bottom Z. I may have changed something else. I'm not fully aware if I have or not, but if I have, you can see it. But this is my support settings, and so I will go to slice. It generates the supports, gets everything nice and good. And this don't have any supports, and it's got its brim, and everything looks a-okay. Looks fine and dandy. Here's where the cool thing comes, and I can't do anything right now because my printer's currently printing, but this right here, print to plate, I could send it over to the P1S from my computer through the Wi-Fi. It's not even connected by a cord. And typically, printers that do stuff like this, it takes a while, but it doesn't really take any time at all. I think it takes like maybe 2-3 minutes to send it over, and it looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. So very happy that it's able to do stuff like this, and very happy at the speed at which it can, because since I can send prints from my computer over to my printer at a fairly good speed, it completely negates me pulling the SD card out and any of that. It's definitely a quality of life upgrade, 110%. And so if you're happy with all this and you're good with it, you can hit print to plate, send it over to the computer, and then it will get ready to print, and it will, get everything ready and set up, and then you're ready to go, and your printer will start printing on its own. And so then when you're finished up with everything and you're good, and let's say the printer's going, and there is a mobile app for this as well. So if you want to check it from your phone while you're at work, or check it in your room, or if you're in the living room watching TV and you just don't want to get up and peep on the printer, you can have the app on your phone, and you can check on your printer. Now, like I said, and we're going to get into it, the camera quality is not good. Not good at all. Now, the camera clarity is good. You can see everything in it, but it lags, and it's, just has a bunch of issues regarding that. So you can't see a true live view because it lags so much, but you can definitely get a good idea of what's going on inside of the printer while everything's happening. So this is another quality of life upgrade, and very happy with it. And I do have this being recorded in a time lapse as well, so when this finishes, I will get the time lapse for this and put it in the video for you guys so you guys can see it. And then whenever you're ready to get your prints and everything, like your time lapses, you can go over here to your micro SD card in the device area. You go to your micro SD card, and this is where you can download your prints. Now, you can pull the micro SD card out of the printer and take it off, which, depending whether you're in the middle of a print or whatever, I have no clue what the micro SD card does while it's printing. I know it records, so if you're not recording a time lapse, I'm not sure what happens if you pull it out mid-print. I really don't know, and I don't know if it would stop the print, pause the print, mess the print up. I'm not going to suggest you do it because I have no idea, but you can pull the micro SD card out and get the videos from the micro SD card, but you can also download them via the Wi-Fi through the printer to the computer. It does take a while. It takes way longer than sending over a slice to the printer, way longer. And I'm not sure why, but it just does. So you'll just go over here and you'll hit download. I have it downloaded, so I don't need to download it. And then it'll download it to your computer, and then bam, you have your file. So guys, that's going to conclude this video, and this is where you can get it from Bambu Lab's website if you want. And it looks like you can also do payments with PayPal via Bambu Lab if you are interested in that. I did use a Best Buy card, credit card, to get my P1S. So if that's something you're interested in and you want this printer for yourself, you can go to Bambu Lab and do that right here. You can purchase it, or you can do a payment plan. I highly suggest don't cheap out, get the AMS unit because you're eventually going to want it and need it. It's a very good quality of life upgrade, and I find it almost essential with the unit. I find it very useful and very helpful. This is a high quality printer, and it really does the job and gets it done, and I can't recommend it more. It's just simply great, and it's simply amazing, and I hope you guys check it out if you have the money or you have the budget to spend on a printer like this. You will be very satisfied. So that's going to be the end of this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad to do this video, and I'm glad to help you guys out. Really hoping I could do more things in the future to help you guys make more decisions with 3D prints, or help you make better quality 3D prints. And I hope you guys come back for more. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I do know there was a guy in one of my very first videos left a comment, and he said the biggest thing that he had a problem with was the audio in my video. So now I am currently mic'd up, and the audio should be better for you guys, and I hope that the quality's better. I do have this light. It is blinding me currently, but I'm trying to push through that. I do see some of the little problems with the lighting as far as showing some of the projects that I'm working on, and there's probably some ways I can get around that. As far as just having a good quality light on me and the room and everything, so you can actually see majority of what's going on, this is the best solution I had for right now. If you have any more critiques or have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will try to get back to them. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later.